Would you like to learn the secret of how I successfully lost body fat over 40, and in fact I was actually over 50? I'm going to share with you the exact step-by-step process that I use to lose body fat. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you, if you're a woman over 40 or like me over 50, get in amazing shape by following a simple process. Yes, it is actually really simple. I'm going to be doing this myself. I promise you, you can actually start seeing results in a matter of weeks. I'm going to be documenting this and recording my progress over the next 30 days, and I'm going to share that with you. And I'm currently going into a fat loss phase. I just want to strip a little bit of fat down so that I can reveal more muscle. But it's going to be the same process for you. If you weigh over 200 pounds, maybe you've only got 10 pounds to lose, the process is exactly the same. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is nutrition, because this is the most important aspect. This is how I approach it, and I'm going to be approaching it just like this, and I'm going to share with you the exact steps. What I want to take in is at least 1 gram of protein for every pound in my body weight. So that's what you want to do. You want to take in 1 gram of protein for every pound in your body weight, or if you weigh over 170 pounds, shoot for your goal body weight. I currently weigh 57 kilos, which is 125 pounds. So what I need to be taking in is at least 125 grams of protein. I like to push that up a bit. So I'm going to be aiming for at least 150 grams of protein per day. And why is that? Why do I take in so much protein? Why should you take in so much protein? Protein is going to help you build muscle, and muscle helps you burn fat. Your body takes longer to break down protein than it does the other macronutrients. So the other macronutrients are carbohydrates and fats, but protein takes your body longer to break down. Why is that important? It's going to improve your metabolism. It improves fat burning. Protein is a really important part of this that often women in my age category, we do tend to miss that out, and it's a massive game changer. So what I want you to do is you've got to take that number now. So for me, it's 150 grams of protein. Plug that in to MyFitnessPal, and then we're going to take our calories. We're going to take a look at your calories, and you can go to an online calorie calculator. I'll put the website here for that. And what you want to be doing is calculating your maintenance calories. And the way that that's calculated, it's calculated on your activity levels. We're going to talk about activity in this video. It's also calculated on your current body weight, your age, and your height. I don't need to go onto a calorie calculator. I know what my maintenance calories are, because my maintenance calories are the calories I can consume and stay around the same weight. So for me, that's around 1950 to 2000 calories per day. That's my maintenance calories. So what we want to do is take those maintenance calories and then subtract anywhere between 200 and 400 calories. The reason I don't want to take off any more than that, I don't want to be going into a huge calorie deficit. I want to go into a small calorie deficit, because if I go into too much of a calorie deficit, it affects my energy levels, it affects my performance in the gym, and I can lose muscle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot for 1750 calories per day. So we've got the 150 grams of protein, 1750 calories. I'm going to plug that number into MyFitnessPal, and then the rest is going to be made up with carbohydrates and fats. I'm going to go for 150 grams of carbohydrates. So that's moderate carbohydrates, And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the rest up with fats. It's going to be 60 grams of fat. So that brings me to 1,740 calories. So slightly lower than what I said. And that works out at 34% carbohydrates, 34% protein, and 31% fats. It's around about a third of each. It's really, really important to make sure that you're getting in that 1 gram of protein for every pound in your body weight. We don't want to be taking carbs too low. I still need them even if I'm going through a fat loss phase. Why? Because it helps with my energy and performance in the gym. So it helps with lifting weights, it helps with any cardiovascular activity you're doing, and it gives me energy through the day. I would say they were moderate carbohydrates for somebody of my size. They're not high, it's not particularly low either. And so for you, anywhere between 100 to around about 200 grams of carbohydrates, depending on what you weigh and how many calories you're going to be taking in. That's the nutrition. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing my meal prep once or twice a week, cooking up food in advance. That's going to help me stay on track. So that's a really important aspect of food. So it's not just tracking your calories and macros, it's being prepared, actually planning ahead with your food so that you know exactly what you're going to be eating. The second step is looking at activity levels. It's pretty simple. What I'm going to be doing in a fat loss phase, and this is what you need to do too, predominantly strength training as my main form of activity. And what I've done is I've actually designed myself a plan. And I've written that down and I'm going to put it up here. So here we can see my training plan. And I've got it all mapped out every day, exactly what I'm doing. In the right hand column there's cardio, and in the left hand column there's strength. And I've also put in my active rest days there. So you can see on Monday I do a 45-minute HIIT circuit training session. So I class that as cardio, although there is a bit of strength in there. Tuesday is upper body, followed by 20 minutes of high intensity interval training. Then I have an active rest day on Wednesdays, which is a Pilates class. Then Thursday, I train legs. I don't like to do cardio after legs because it's really, really tough leg session, that one. Then Friday, another active rest day, which is yoga. Saturday, I do upper body and glutes, with 20 minutes of high intensity interval training following that. And Sunday, upper body and 20 minutes of HIIT. That will take me around about an hour at each training session. And that's including the HIIT cardio. You don't have to fit in the Pilates and the yoga. That's just something that I do on top of everything else I do. So in that training plan, I've got the key components for fat loss, which are strength training and high intensity interval training. If you want something and you want to do it in a short amount of time, I have a fantastic program called the 6-week shred, and I'm going to link it up here and link it in the description. So it's all inside my Body by Bikini app, and you have your video tutorials and you have your training plan all mapped out for you. Now, the next aspect that I love to include, just simply getting my steps in, because how you form a calorie deficit is partly done on nutrition, it's partly done on the structured training, but it's also about how much you're moving throughout the day. That's going to make a difference. So I've set myself a target of 7,000 steps per day. Now I'm actually getting ready for a photo shoot in about 90 days time. I won't take the steps too high right now, but as I progress on, what will happen is I will increase that step count to probably 10,000 steps. It might even go eventually to 20,000 steps. And I will gradually actually taper up the cardio. So the HIIT cardio is only about 20 minutes. Eventually I'm going to be ending up on about 30 minutes. Don't like to go too high on cardio too early on, because if you do that, there's nowhere to go. And once you get over 30 minutes of cardio, it's actually quite hard to build muscle. It's quite hard to have the energy to do the strength training as well. So it's always better to keep your cardio under 30 minutes. You do also, when you're thinking about fat loss, actually need to be thinking about getting enough sleep, and I've made a complete video on that, and reducing your stress levels, which leading up to, going through and post-menopause, sleep and stress can have a massive impact on fat loss. So I will be taking care of that myself. I'll be taking care to actually get intentional about my sleep, and I'll be taking care to manage my stress levels. The final step, and it's probably the most important part of the step, is really accountability. What I do is I take photos, I actually take videos as well of what I currently look like. So I'm going to put this up here. This is what I currently look like. And then I take all my measurements. So my current weight, as I said at the start, is 125 pounds or 57 kilos. I don't want to take too much notice of scale weight, but it's just one indication out of a number of indications. I really love to go on images, what I look like, because I've got a really good feel for that these days. What I look like really tells me in pictures, and even looking in the mirror, it really tells me where I am in terms of my progression on fat loss. So that's the main way that I look at things. The other thing is, as I take measurements, so I'm currently a 38-inch hip, a 27-inch waist, and a 31-inch bust. So I'll keep a record of all those, and what I do is I check in with myself with the pictures, with the measurements, with the weight. Every week I'm recording that. So I have a good idea about what's working and whether I need to change anything. So what I'm going to do as part of this process over the next 30 days is I'm going to share this with you, share my journey with you, so share my progress with you, share my pictures, share my measurements, so you can see on a week by week basis exactly how I'm getting on. And that's what I would suggest you do. Maybe you can share it with a friend. I work with women as a one-to-one coach, so if that's of interest to you, do click the link here and click the link in my profile about one-to-one coaching, because that's what that includes. That actually includes checking in with all your statistics and how you're actually progressing every week. And I'm going to be checking in with you guys so you can see exactly how I'm progressing. Do comment below if you would love to see more of this and love to follow my journey.